In this video, we're going to take a look at the Dewalt DCW 210 Cordless Random Orbit Sander. Let me just say I was really excited whenever Dewalt came out with this tool because as a high-end finish carpenter, I have to do a lot of work on ceilings, high up on scaffolding and stuff. Sometimes I need to sand something. I don't want to have to drag a corded sander up there. So whenever they came out with a sander that was going to be on the 20-volt platform using all the batteries I already had laying around, I was really excited about that. This sander is going to work with any of your standard 20-volt batteries, just popping it on and off right here. As you can see, you will notice the sander does come with a dust collection chute on it. Don't expect too much out of this. It's going to collect some, but not do a whole lot, but it is at least easy to take on and off and empty. I will say in terms of balance and ergonomics with this sander, it is not very good. Whenever you put a large battery on the side, it definitely puts a lot of weight on one side of the sander. It kind of wants to fall over. Ergonomically, it would be a lot better probably to use one of the smaller amp hour batteries just to reduce that weight on the side. As you can see, if I pick it up and hold it, it definitely wants to tilt over. So whenever you're sanding, you do have to control this with your hand quite a bit. Something to be aware of is the hole pattern on the 5-inch sandpaper. It is different than Festool sanders, which is what I typically use. That's kind of an annoyance for me. As you can see here, just a little bit different, so keep that in mind. The other thing that could be good or bad with the sander, depending on what you're doing, the pad on this sander is fairly soft. I like a pretty stiff and hard pad for sanding things nice and flat on coffered ceilings and things like that. That's very important. The softer your pad is, the more it's going to dig in and the less it's going to be really nice and flat. So that's not a great feature in my opinion. However, in other instances, if you're sanding things that might have a slight contour or profile, a soft sanding pad is better. So it just depends. It's just something you need to be aware of. The sander is variable speed. You'll see the dial up here on the front by the switch to turn it on and off. Goes from 7 to 1, obviously. So also gotta love that quick stop and quick start. All in all, for me, this has not been a high-end sander. It's a quick grab and go sander, something handy to be able to take up on scaffolding, or if I've got to run to the other end of a house really quick to sand a baseboard scarf joint, this is a handy tool to be able to grab. If I was building cabinets in a shop or something like that, this is absolutely not the sander that I would use for that type of work. It's just simply the convenience factor of having a cordless sander at a really reasonable price that makes this a good buy. So if you're shopping for a cordless sander, is this the sander for you? Well, it's just a convenience factor with the cordless aspect of the tool. It's not a high-end sander by any means. But if you're on the Dewalt platform already and have a bunch of batteries laying around anyways, the price and the convenience factor makes this a great buy. I also have the Festool cordless sander. The big disadvantage with this is simply it uses a unique battery that I don't use with any other tool, and that's a big negative with this sander. But the Dewalt is just a lot more convenient in that aspect.